Welcome back, YouTube. It's your host, Bruce GNT, and we're back with another video. And what we're going to talk about is California. So I don't really harp on California too much. Honestly, I don't really harp on many other states besides like Georgia and New York, maybe a little bit of Florida, but this one is interesting. And the reason why it's interesting because I don't really talk about this too often because I try to stay away from topics like this. Why? Because a lot of people get their panties in a twist about it. And for me, I think it's pretty clear cut and dry. So we're going to jump into this. I'm going to get my thoughts throughout and then after.
These podiums at the high school track and field state championships in California, unlike any in the state's history, not only because the first place winner for both high jump and triple jump, A.B. Hernandez, is transgender, but because she is sharing that top spot with competitors she technically outperformed.
A.B. Hernandez.
It's the result of a first-of-its-kind rule change from the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, which allows, quote, biological female athletes to compete and potentially earn the same medal that a trans athlete wins. The CIF has not specified how it defines biological female.
So first off, I just want to say that, look, you can be whatever you want to be. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? My main point is that we keep talking about listening to women and understanding how they feel. And I know for a fact that a lot of women athletes and just women in general have voiced that, hey, look, they feel uncomfortable about trans women being in their spaces. But apparently we don't listen to that. So I'm a little bit confused as to when we choose to listen to women, when we choose not to. Then the next point, right? This sounds like just another form of participation trophies because essentially you're going, well, we're going to give you the medals because you technically won, but then we're also going to give the medals to the women that you beat because they would have won if you weren't part of the competition. That sounds dumb. Like, am I off? I'm just saying that just sounds stupid to me because it sounds like you're just trying to appease, what, one of three people? Really? And like, why? For what? Like, I'm trying to figure out and really understand why, like, more women and people in general voice that they're not for trans people being in, trans women I should say, being in women's sports, and yet they're still pushing for it so hard to the point where they're coming up with all these different policies and whatnot to make it so that it's more inclusive. Make that make sense to me. The last point that really made me just, it just boggled my mind. Also, the last point that truly boggled my fucking mind. You're trying to figure out how to define biological woman. Like, did I hear that correctly? Let me go back.
Specified how it defines biological female.
Trying to specify how it defines biological female. Motherfucker, it's in the name, biological. What do you mean you're trying to figure out, like, how to define it? It's just so simple that I can't dumb it down any more than that. Biological woman, how do we define that? Biological, like, they have the bits and pieces of a woman. Like, I'm confused.
Hernandez shared the top spot in triple jump with an athlete who trailed her by just over half a meter, and in high jump with two athletes who matched her 5'7" best, but each had a failed attempt.
Just nervous right now, state finals, back here again.
Ahead of the competition, the 16-year-old Hernandez commenting on the pressure and criticism that comes with competing as a trans girl.
I'm just so secure in who I am, and I just know that no one's gonna break me. Y'all tried, but I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere.
Hernandez's mother celebrating her win on Instagram, writing in a statement, quote, watching you rise above months of being targeted, misunderstood, and judged, not by peers but by adults who should have known better, has left me in awe of your strength. The CIF announced the new policy ahead of the competition, anticipating Hernandez's participation, which has drawn protests in the state and beyond.
I'm here to save my daughter's future.
The CIF saying in a statement it, quote, values all of our student athletes and will continue to uphold our mission of providing students with the opportunity to belong, connect, and compete while complying with California law. Earlier this week, President Trump warned in a post on Truth Social that he would pull federal funding from California if Hernandez competed in the state finals.
The war on women's sports is over.
Referencing this executive order he signed in February, which stipulates the federal government will, quote, rescind all funds from educational programs that deprive women and girls of fair athletic opportunity.
And this is the part that confuses me. It's like, why are they fighting so hard for this? It just doesn't make sense to me because I don't know. Like, they have states that are legitimately going to war with this, and it's like, why? And don't worry, we're going to talk about California because I've been off Gavin Newsom a little bit, but I'm going to get back to my buddy because he came up with this new slogan, the Trump slump. And a little tidbit about that. He's trying to make it seem like the deficit that's been going on for years in California, billions of dollars, by mind you, is because of, you know, Trump coming in with the tariffs. I heard that and I was like, no fucking way. But that's a whole nother video. We'll discuss that later.
The Department of Justice this week also announcing it would investigate the CIF and Hernandez's school district to determine if they violated federal sex discrimination laws. California Governor Gavin Newsom previously called trans athlete participation in sports unfair.
I revere sports, and so the issue of fairness is completely legit.
His office today releasing a statement that says, in part, quote, CIF's pilot is a reasonable, respectful way to navigate a complex issue without compromising competitive fairness. Adding that the number of active transgender athletes in the state is estimated to be in the single digits.
That makes it make even less sense. It's in the single... That would mean it's anywhere from... Well, I know it's not 1. Like, from like 3 to 9. So it's like, what... I just don't get it. Why are they going to bat so hard for this? Why? It just doesn't make sense. It's in the single digits. It's so bad that you can't even give them their own league because it just wouldn't make any sense. Because that's athletes, not track athletes. Athletes. Which means that it's between 3 to 9. I don't know. Am I a bigot? Probably. I know there's some people gonna be, oh, you're such a bigot. I don't give a damn. Cry. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
All right, David Noriega joins us live from LA. David, are we hearing from the other athletes who competed alongside Hernandez?
Well, Tom, all of the tension around this competition seems to have been outside of the competition itself. As you saw from those photos, Hernandez and her fellow competitors were all in a good mood and seemed to be pretty happy to be sharing that top spot. In fact, one of those competitors did speak to the San Francisco Chronicle after the meet and described Hernandez as a superstar and a rock star. Now, that is not always the case in competitions where trans girls perform. This actually just happened shortly after a similar competition in Washington State in Spokane, where a trans athlete won at a state meet and then was harshly criticized by her competitors. Now, we should wait to see what kind of response we get from trans rights groups, LGBT groups, and others to this new rule by the CIF. But for now, at least when it comes to the students themselves, the competitors themselves, which many people would argue are the most important people here, it seems like this is working pretty well, Tom.
So like I said before, I don't understand why they're picking and choosing when to listen to people or when to listen to women, because they keep saying that, I mean, he just said it. He didn't say himself, but he's saying that people are basically saying, hey, look, the people that matter the most, the competitors, what they say matters. I'm pretty sure people have been saying for a while now that they don't like it. I even watched a video a little while back where this woman was saying, she was an Asian woman, and I think it was for swimming. I can't remember the name of the person. I might have it on screen. Where they were basically saying, hey, look, they were giving essentially gag orders allegedly about how you can't come out and say anything, and if you do, it's going to be rough for you going forward. And I remember watching that and then hearing other people talk about it, and it's just insane to me because we're sitting here and we're hearing people say, well, it seems like the athletes are okay, but it's like, are they truly okay? Because we see in our everyday life, the minute you speak out against certain things, especially when it comes to more liberal ideas and more conservative ones as well, I've seen it, you get kind of shunned, you get called names, all this other type of negative shit happens to you, and it's just like, you're probably not going to hear people say anything about it because they know the backlash. I mean, Gavin Newsom, which a lot of people praise him for his ideas, and when it comes to like a lot of gay rights, when he said that, hey, it's maybe a little bit unfair for trans people to be in, they had a whole meltdown on the left. They were pretty much like, oh yeah, I mean, he's going against his people. I'm just like, what the fuck? He just voiced an opinion. So truthfully, I don't even know if you're really getting like the real temperature of the competitors because they already know what's going to happen. But look, my mindset is this. We keep saying listen to women. We keep saying, hey, look, protect women. But then in certain instances, we don't. It doesn't make sense to me. I see nothing wrong with them either having their own league or competing where they're biologically, where they were assigned biologically. So trans women with men, I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. We live in a weird world. It be what it be. Whatever California got going over there, if you like it, I love it. Go keep that shit over there. Don't bring that shit anywhere else because we're not for that. And I'm not saying that I'm hateful of anybody, but I'm just saying the policies, keep that shit over there. Well, guys, you already know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts, tell me how you feel about this, and be as respectful as you can be. Like, I understand this could be a touchy subject for some people, and there's some people that honestly just have a whole lot of hate, but I'm looking at this objectively, and objectively ask you to tell me how you feel within some respect, and leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe because I will be looking at situations like this, and if it comes across my feed and I find it interesting, I'll talk about it. Peace.